You're listening to Just My Show, your number one source for pop culture.
So let's dive into the show. Greatest American Hero, one of those shows whose sort of place in pop culture, I think, outweighs its years. You know, on, 3 seasons, 30 years ago. A lot of shows are on longer, maybe higher on the critics' list of the all-time great shows. But some of those all-time great shows don't have sort of as enthusiastic a following as this one
Well, you
does.
know what? We hit the zenith, to me, in pop culture when we got onto on the Family Guy, and they did a send-up of that. Did you see that?
You know, I didn't see that one, but I was going to say
it's
this
awesome.
one.
They did a send-up of Greatest American Hero.
What about George's answering machine on Seinfeld? Speaking of that,
That was pretty cool too.
And you know, I shouldn't shortchange it in terms of. I mean, Stephen. Actually, people might not realize this. Picked up an Emmy nomination for writing and a WGA nomination too. I mean, it's kind of a silly concept, but executed incredibly well. In that Ralph is in on the silliness and thinks it's silly too. Yeah. Because without that, it's just a regular superhero show, right? And it doesn't work.
Well, his the way Stephen tells it, they approached him many years ago. ABC approached him to create a superhero show, and he said he would do it. His only contingency was that he wanted to do it so the guy didn't have any superheroes himself, but it was as a result of the suit, and he would do it that way. And he always told me that he was really writing The Odd Couple. He would think of a funny situation, and then he would, build in a plot and bring a plot through the back door, But it was always a character piece to him. That's the way it was always written and constructed.
Well, let's talk about the other half of your Odd Couple, Robert Culp. Heard you talk in a few different interviews about how you guys didn't exactly hit it off, and then you guys had a heart-to-heart and now are great friends, but I never really heard the source of the problem. I can tell you I've never met him, never been on the show. In watching the DVD commentary, he sort of comes across as a little Bill Maxwell-like in talking about how a scene should be approached as an actor. And in fairness, he had a little success behind him with
Well, yeah,
Outside.
you have to be fair. Come on, this is Bob Culp. I mean, Robert Culp, he had a lot of success, not only as an actor, but also he wrote some wonderful TV shows as a writer, and he had a little bit of success as a director. So you're talking about a guy who was well-rounded in the entertainment industry. And even now when I spend time with him, I mean, this guy is a walking encyclopedia of film trivia. He's just an amazing man. His mind is like a steel trap.
Right, so maybe he has a certain amount of right to come in sort of demanding things, but was that, at the time, back then, was that the source? Was it a conflict as far as acting goes, or was it a personality conflict?
I think it was a little bit of both. I don't, it was a long time ago. All I remember is that it was pretty short-lived. I think we experienced that through the pilot episode, the 2-hour, and then a little by the second or third show, I think that was all. We had put that all behind us.
For more, go to www.justmyshow.com.